All right, today we're digging into a YouTube mystery that, honestly, seems to break all the rules. How is it possible for a video with just 77,000 views to earn more than 20 times the money of a video with 8 million views? I know, it sounds crazy, but the answer reveals a really smart strategy that's all about audience, not just raw numbers. So let's break it all down. Okay, just look at these numbers for a second. On one hand, you have a short that blows up, gets 8.1 million views, and makes a measly $6. Six! Now look at the other one. It gets only 77,000 views, which is not even close, right? But it pulls in $137. That's not just a little better. That is a whole different universe of monetization.
So the big question is, how on earth is this possible? It feels wrong, right? It goes against everything we think we know about how YouTube works. But don't worry, there's a very specific and very clever method behind this.
Okay, so the secret, the big reveal, is a strategy the source calls US content. And the idea behind it is actually pretty simple, but it's powerful. You stop chasing everybody, and you start targeting the right people. Specifically, an audience that advertisers are willing to pay top dollar to reach. Let's see what that actually looks like.
So what is this US content thing anyway? Well, think of it like a recipe. It's a formula for making these so-called faceless videos. You know, the ones where you never see the creator's face? They use AI tools to cook up stories and voiceovers that are custom-made to click with an American audience. The real goal isn't just to get a bunch of views, it's to get views from the one place with the highest ad rates.
And this right here is the money slide. This is why it all works. The source breaks it down like this. If you get 100,000 views from, say, an Indian audience on this kind of content, you might make about $1, just $1. But get the exact same number of views on a US content video, and suddenly you're looking at anywhere from $5 to $25. That huge difference in ad money is exactly why the little 77K view video totally demolished the 8 million view one.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually do it? Well, the good news is, the source lays out a super clear 4-step blueprint. This isn't just theory, it's a step-by-step guide to making these kinds of videos. You'll see, the formula is actually pretty simple. It really just boils down to 4 main parts. You start with getting the right story, then you create the voiceover, find the visuals to go with it, and finally, you add the captions. Let's walk through each one.
Step 1. The story. The trick here is to find an English language video that's already popular. Something like a channel that reads Reddit stories. You take that video's link, pop it into an AI tool like Google Gemini, and then you ask the AI to write you new stories, but in that exact same style. That way, you know the vibe is going to be right for a US audience.
Next up, you need a voice. The source gets really specific here. Use an AI tool called 11 Labs and pick the Natasha Valley voice to get that perfect American English sound. But here's the real key. Once you have the audio, you edit it to cut out every single pause. This makes the narration super fast and punchy, which is exactly what you need to keep people from scrolling away.
All right, now for the visuals. This part is super important to avoid getting in trouble with copyright. The source says to stay far away from using clips from YouTube. Instead, they suggest using Chinese apps to find those satisfying videos. You know the ones, like soap being cut or machines working perfectly. The idea is to grab a bunch of those and edit them into a quick montage that just keeps your eyes glued to the screen while the story is being told. And for the final touch, the captions. You use an app like Captions Lite and it'll automatically create those flashy words that pop up on screen right as they're being said. For YouTube Shorts, where tons of people watch without sound, having these captions is absolutely crucial. It's what keeps them engaged from start to finish.
But here's the thing. Making a great video is only half the battle, right? You still have to get it in front of that high-paying US audience. And for that, you need a smart upload strategy. It's not just about what you post, but when and how. Okay, this next part is going to look a little weird at first glance. The source, who's based in India, recommends uploading your videos between 1 and 3 a.m. Why on earth would you do that? Well, it's a brilliant little time zone hack. When it's the middle of the night in India, it's daytime and prime time in the United States. You're posting the video exactly when your target audience is awake and scrolling.
When it comes to the upload settings, it's actually way simpler than you'd think. The source says just focus on picking the right category, either entertainment or people in blogs. Then you're pretty much good to go. You don't have to stress about writing the perfect title or stuffing it with tags. Why? Because YouTube's algorithm is so smart now, it literally reads the words in your captions, figures out what your video is about, and finds the right audience all on its own.
All right, let's talk about the bottom line, the big question. Does this strategy actually work? Let's get real for a minute and look at the actual earnings, how long it takes to see results, and what it costs to get started.
So what do they actually make? $290 in 1 month. And here's the thing to remember. That was from uploading just one video every 2 days. The creators suggest that if you are more consistent, say one video every single day, you could probably earn a lot more.
Now you gotta have a little patience with this. The source is really clear that you won't see magic happen overnight. You should expect to upload about 15 to 20 videos before the YouTube algorithm really figures out what you're doing. It needs that time to learn about your content and find that perfect US audience. But once it clicks, it really starts to work.
And finally, what's this going to set you back? Well, it's not totally free, but it's pretty darn cheap. The source estimates you'll spend around $20 a month for the subscriptions you need, like for the AI voice and the captioning app. When you think about the potential income, that's a really small investment to get started.
So there you have it, a complete blueprint for shifting your focus from just getting millions of random views to actually earning real money from a specific, high-value audience. It basically turns YouTube from a game of chance into a predictable strategy. The tools are there, the formula's there. The only real question left is, what story are you going to tell?